I found it.
It's the blue cube.
Warm-up questions. And roll. Which other player character does your character find themselves having the most in common with?
Yeah, this is actually an appropriate question for the moment, as everyone's pretty split up. Like, who would these little buddy cop duos be? Or like, who would it work well with? Because I suppose the buddy cop duo, you want the opposites. So yeah.
For Jin, funny enough, probably Australia, because I just know there's a few skeletons in Australia's closet, and same thing with Jin. Yeah, and I just don't know a lot about Australia, and I don't think everybody else knows a lot about Jin. But yeah, I think it's probably the most the one I'm finding the most similarity with. Also,
I think
we
that's
have the
pretty
same
fair.
Warlock and Bard levels.
Yeah, and how many fights have ended with the two of you just blowing something up with a barrage of Eldritch Blasts? It's like
that too.
there's I like that dynamic there. Yeah, anyone else that wants to jump in, you're more than welcome to, while we wait for Sakura.
I'd probably say Grovard for Elias, just because mostly about the situation. We're very new to this party. We're a bit more free-spirited because of it, and well, not free-spirited, just we don't
Less
have the
paranoid.
same obligations. Yeah. And just we're both a little bit childish, at least, thinking back to our acquisition of magic paper.
I know, I think that's pretty fitting with the theme of this campaign. Don't worry. It should be much more mature than that. I mean, it might get dark, but yeah. The idea was, I think you're probably the oldest one in the group, Elias.
Really?
Yeah, we need to. I don't think we ever discussed age, but I mean, the point of the campaign was originally for them to be like a samurai in training, so they're all pretty young. But you've come at it from a different angle, so it's like it kind of makes sense that you wouldn't just be some teenager.
Yeah.
But how old is Elias?
Early 30s.
Yeah, you're the oldest.
I think.
I don't think so.
Okay, but in terms of like, we're talking as a human versus, I don't know, Estrella might be like hundreds of years old. How old is Estrella?
Oh, that is both a spoiler question and a perspective one. 33.
Yeah,
43.
with a fake creature, that's kind of a like like a redundant thing to ask, like, because it's like they could be 1,000 years old and have only experienced half an hour. It's kind of like a Baby Yoda situation. It's like, yeah, that's clearly like an infant, but oh, it's 100 years old. Yeah, sure. But compared to, I think, the more humanoid of you, Elias is definitely now the adult of the group.
Yeah. I mean, originally it would have had to be like pretty old, because my first idea of the character was a bit more. He was very experienced in like sort of criminal dealings and wanted out, which you have to be pretty old to be at that stage. But with what I've got now, Elias could have probably been younger.
Hi, by the way. Sorry.
I
took a nap.
Morning.
And I put an alarm for around 45 minutes ago, and it didn't wake me up. So I'm
That's
waking up
don't
around
worry.
45 minutes late. Sorry.
Don't worry. You haven't missed anything. We were waiting for you and just answering some of the questions and realizing that Elias is the probably the oldest, well, in terms of human years, at least in your group.
Mm.
Which, yeah, I think makes sense because also you'll have realized by now that most of the people you're dealing with are quite young. So Elias in this world to have gotten into all of those criminal underbellies probably got into that really young. So yeah, making it to your 30s in this world is pretty impressive as a human. You must have done something right.
And hopefully I have at least another 10 years left in me.
But yeah, if you can become a samurai, and you might have the power to do so. But the question for tonight, for you as well, Sakura, or I suppose not tonight. I'm just used to saying that. Is which other player character does your character find themselves having the most in common with?
Let's think. Uh, It's a good one. She doesn't really know the new characters super well. She tries to be kind of like Seto, but I don't know if he kind of still counts. She like tries to be responsible and stuff like him. I guess. I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, I kind of love that though. That like, even though he's gone, she's like taken on that sort of role that she wants to fulfill. Like,
Mm.
and what about Jerry as well?
According to Jerry, it would be Sakura. I can see, at least that's what he wrote in the chat.
I didn't see that. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty fair. If wizards could rage, I think Sakura would have figured it out then.
Oh, that would be interesting for sure.
So, without further ado, because Grovard is not going to be able to join us tonight, I think we can jump right into it. As last time, when our heroes arrived at the Temple of the Fire Ring, they were greeted by the great dragon which resides there, and the dragon seemed to remember who the two were already who already had their rings, but suggested that they go and find somewhere to wait while the rest of the test was underway. Apparently, there was a tavern up the road which served food and drink, and Jerry and Sakura agreed to go there while they waited. Once they'd left, the trial was about to begin, and our heroes were preparing for what came next. Estrella donned her mask and offered potions of fire resistance to her allies, a decision that would prove most useful as fire elementals then appeared behind each participant and the fight was on. As their battle ensued, Jerry and Sakura found themselves arriving at a camp that was set up in the middle of the main road like some sort of checkpoint or barricade, and the camp was run by the Blue Dragon clan samurai under the command of one Daichi Gazora, the supposed truest son of Daichi. Apparently, they were there to prevent a group of Crab Clan soldiers from returning home to Aimama, and soldiers who they believed to be hiding in the tavern just up the road. Realizing that a young girl and a mouse folk would not be seen as a threat, he sent Sakura and Jerry to investigate and provide intel. Thus, they headed towards the tavern while the battle for the fire ring raged on. The group had suffered burns, bite wounds, claw marks, and concussions, but thanks to quick thinking and powerful healing, they made short work of the fire elementals before Elias managed to embed a crossbow bolt into the dragon's eye. Sakura had arrived at the tavern to find it full of Crab Clan samurai, most of whom seemed tired after weeks of travel and eager to return home. But during a game of cards, when she revealed that she'd been to the Dragon Clan camp, Sakura was ushered to the commander, who was in the process of planning an attack. Sakura told her that fewer than 20 men stood guard at the camp, information which the commander seemed overjoyed by, and thanking Sakura, she promised to one day return the favor if the information proved to be true. Meanwhile, back at the Fire Ring Temple, Estrella had managed to keep everyone alive long enough for Grovard to unleash a barrage of attacks on the dragon, drawing on every elemental force that he could to try and find its weakness. And eventually, the overwhelming assault brought the dragon down to the ground, where Elias struck the final blow with an execution-style crossbow bolt to the other eye, where the dragon was defeated, and before each of them, a ring of fire appeared and solidified into their rings. And that is basically where we are going to rejoin Estrella and Elias now, right after this fight has happened. And what you can see is that Grovard is still, after giving that attack, is still glowing with energy, and there is lightning crackling off of him, but his eyes seem to have glazed over somewhat, and he seems more concerned with whatever this energy is than any of you. What would you like to do?
In all honesty, I'm not very fond of touching electricity, so I'm just going to let him sort that out himself. I would like to see if there's any possible way I can communicate with the dragon, or if he's just absolutely KO'd.
Yeah, you can give me either a perception or a medicine check, as the dragon is currently lying dead next to you. There's just blood pouring from its eyes and pooling on the floor at your feet.
I will perception check.
Yeah, this creature definitely looks dead. You can hear some strange sort of squelching sounds coming from its eye sockets, but you're not sure if it's melting or if it's regenerating. It's really hard to tell. It doesn't look like it's going to be chatty for a long while. Unless you had some sort of like necromancy to speak with it.
I'm not very. I'm not a very magical person. Well, Estrella, I reckon we should probably find the others. I'm worried something might have happened to him. The dragon knew something. Well, the dragon was concerned looking up the way they went, so can only mean bad things.
I guess you're right. Let me just finish this. And she just write a little message for the dragon, writing, "The pain of eternal life is tough, but that's all it is. Anyone can do if they try." And just like puts it like under one of the whiskers. Hopefully he doesn't eat it or blows away. Else, oh well, he doesn't see it.
Yeah, you can see one of the whiskers is sort of draped over this building that's underneath, which actually has a little shrine in it. It's sort of covered here on the map, but you can see it underneath there, like all of the ones have. But yeah, you'll easily be able to leave a message for him there. And Estrella, can you also give me a perception check as you are doing this, and you sort of look up at the front of this dragon's head? Okay, you notice on the horn of the dragon on the front of its face that Grovard was basically hammering his fists into earlier. you can see that that is still crackling with that same sort of static charge that seems to be on Grovard. It seems that elemental damage is still either like seeping into the body or you're not sure what, but it's still crackling just as much. But yeah, you managed to leave that message.
Perfectly.
Actually, how will... no. Grovad can use another crane to find us. That'll be fine.
Okay. So you guys leaving him there.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that can happen? A gay clown comes and takes him.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, you see he's just sort of like staring down at his hands at the moment, but he seems conscious, so yeah, he'll probably be able to join you again later. As you guys make your way out of the temple, we are going to cut back to Taton, where a few hours ago, June sees Grovard and Elias leaving a shop and chasing after a small paper turtle that immediately gets stood on by some random guy, and they chase him down the road. And that is where we see you, June, as you kind of, you just see them, but I'm not sure whether or not you would engage. And
No, probably not. Should be heading to our destination.
I'll put your token down. Can everyone see anyway, even without it?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, now that it's fixed for you guys, it's shit for me again.
Oh no, sorry.
Yes,
It's
the
okay.
rule of equivalent exchange.
Yeah, I told you it was because there was no one else on the server.
Yeah, it's not even like loading in for me. It's okay. It'll get there.
Oh, sorry. Well, I do hope it comes right, but that's all right, because for now, this is June. June is the only one in this scene, as Grover and Elias have just gone chasing a paper bird down the road and have not seen you, June. I'm not sure if you were disguised or what you were doing, but you arrive at, you're walking just sort of past the museum and down to the beachfront in Taton that is sort of on Uchibito Bay there. So what would you like to do?
Right, I'd like to. So I'd probably have written down a makeshift map into the book to try find the very specific location, and I'll be just trying to map my way through the city, trying to get to that location.
All right. Yeah, you can actually look in your journal section. If you go to journals and then stories, you should actually be able to see some things in your book now.
Let's see, journals. Is it where in journals is it?
It's in it's the journal tab, and then there's a under tab.
Oh, story. Yeah, found it. Here we go. Okay, I think it's the one Uchibito Bay one, right?
Any of them you can read. Those are just things in your book that you may not have seen just yet.
Right.
And yeah, there should be a toggle there that you can actually use to. You'll see it might show up in deep speech or something. So
oh no, I can see it.
if it's translated, you can. There should be a toggle at the top. But can you see the map now as well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. And can everyone else see from June's perspective?
Yep.
Cool.
Right, so I'll head down to the coast over here. Looking around. Let me quickly have a look at the. Oh, that's a wall over there.
You can give me a perception check as you're walking through the town.
Sure thing. Perception roll. And it's not blinking for some reason, but I rolled an 18.
Okay, so you can hear there's some conversations coming from a little building up above. There's maybe some kind of a tea house up there. You can see that there are a couple of people walking around the town through the markets and whatnot. And as you approach the sea, you see there are these lines of jade cannons lining the side of the wall, and there are a couple of samurai patrolling. But down at the bottom, there are a number of fishermen that seem to have just gotten back. A couple of them are bringing their boats in. You don't see any large ships like you did in Kunasa, but a couple of small fishing boats here and there. But other than that, it seems like there's not much activity down on the beach.
Yeah. While looking out, I'll be looking at my book for one of the third message. Out on the horizon, an idol you must find. So I'm going to be just having a look along the horizon, see if there's anything poking out of the water or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, give me another perception.
Thing. I'll use Forge to do this time. Why is it not rolling?
Yeah, I think it might just be lagged. I saw a 17
there. Yeah, it's not showing up on my screen, but I'm sure it's showing up on your guys' screen.
Yeah, it's shown up in the chat. I think it might have just lagged. But as you sort of look out into the horizon, you can still see a faint sort of what looks like mountains in the distance. But you realize now from where you're standing, you look a bit down the coast and you can see where Kunasa is, and you realize that Uchibito Bay is massive. There is a lot of open water to explore here, and from what you can see in your book, that doesn't look like it would be all that easy to find.
All right, could you have another look at the book? Give me 1 second. It's this one as well. All right. I guess the only thing I can really do right now is I'll take a nice walk down to the beach and make sure no one's looking at the time, and then I'll hop onto my broom and fly in and start going along the coast, see if there's any sign of anything. I'll have the book in my hand as well to see if there's any if my patron's giving me any sign of any sort.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me a survival check as you see this what looks like a crane fly over your head and just come swoop right over you and fly over to a little group of samurai that seem to be in conversation. It seems to be like a pet of theirs or something, but it looks big enough. I mean, it looks big enough for Jerry to ride. You see that there are a couple of transportation options around you.
Yeah. Why is the dice not rolling on my side? It's so weird. But yeah, I rolled the survival.
Okay, yeah, it is. I'm seeing the dice and everything. That's weird. I don't know why. But yeah, so you can tell that from all of this, you can probably find your way to this idol just guided by your patron. You would assume that this is not the kind of thing that is always stationary. Like it seems to be an interplanar kind of thing. So
Yeah.
and you know that the planar portals can move just based on their alignment with this plane. So you're not 100% sure, but based on all the things that have been happening in this bay recently, you would imagine that presence is very strong. And we will say that retroactively, you did actually get a bit more information on how to get here when you had popped outside while everyone else was inside the Kraken.
Mm.
So I'd say if you could get out to sea, you could probably find this. It might take you a couple of hours to get out there though, and this bay is dangerous.
That's fine. I'll fly I'd say about 60 feet above the water on the broom. I'm going at quite good speed. I'll try to avoid any big ships or anything like that. Just try to look as casual as possible while flying on top of a broom.
All right. Yeah. So as you take off down across the water, trying to see where this thing is, just scanning the horizon, we're going to jump back to Sakura, Sakura, Estrella, and Elias, actually, as you were all arriving back at the Blue Dragon camp around the same time. And Jerry, of course. Sorry, I might, because you disappeared last time. I'm not sure what you were actually doing when Sakura went to the tavern. But if you'd like to let us know, you can do so now, as everyone is sort of now making their way back. I said BLB. Yeah, so Sakura, you're approaching from the south, and Estrella and Elias, you guys are approaching from the north. Oh, right, Grovar's not with you.
It's just gone. I gather, just to Australia, I gather these are your not so benevolent benefactors.
Potentially. I'm not entirely sure which faction they belong to.
I can see a very identifiable figure. I'll just sort of nod towards the blue dragonborn with wings.
I mean, but look, Dev did also say that everyone in this region dresses in blue.
Yeah, that is true. You guys can give me either a history or a religion check to see if you can identify these things, but you will both have advantage because you're pretty sure. It's yeah. So Australia, they look kind of like everyone around here looks more or less the same as Sakura was saying. Everyone seems to wear blue. You wouldn't want to make any assumptions, but they do seem to have little blue drakes and things, which you don't remember seeing around Toto. However, Elias, you definitely recognize the insignia on their armor. You can see that the main thing you recognize is a tattooed monk standing at the entrance. That he just seems to be standing in meditation. But you know, in the circles that you've been in, there are a lot of tattoos that go around Yakuza style. However, there are the tattooed monks who've got a whole other thing behind their tattoos, and that is the order that gave the rest of the party their tattoos. So you're pretty sure this is Blue Dragon Clan.
Yeah. These what he said. And let's find the other two. Went off.
So Sakura, are you on the map?
Yeah. I somehow managed to get on.
Cool. Well, I will move Jerry along with you for now until he's back.
Okay.
And I think, no, maybe not quite yet, but as you guys are entering the camp, you will see this, like, possibly a half dragon, blue dragonborn, just turn to look at you as these two samurai that are standing in conversation just look very interested at the new arrivals, but no one seems to have tried to stop you.
I'll just give them a glance
Sure.
back and continue. That ain't my business.
Sakura bows to here, greets them, you know, and then she'll continue on. Now imagine, let me just find that. Give me a second.
Yeah, so you guys would see as they both, these two samurai just staring at you, you see up above in the tower next to you, you can see there are a couple of archers that are also, one or two of them, peering down at you, and that's when you see Jerry and Sakura around the corner and come walking up the road, seeming quite healthy. I think they're probably looking a bit healthier than you guys at the moment.
Hello. Anything happen?
Those vibes. So yeah, you get the vibes from that particular GIF. She'll wait for Jerry to say something, because you know he was the one who was like, the rings, you know. So she'll wait for him to be like, rings, did you get them? If not, we're gonna do the Jerry stuff, I guess.
Awkward silence. Well,
just lifts Australia just lifts let me see, that is the right hand, and there is 5 rings. That should answer the question.
Sakura just gives like a thumbs up, and then I think the map's yep. It died. Okay, my map is dead. So she just gives a thumbs up, and then she walks past Estrella, and goes to. Yeah. Does a deep bow. Ohayo gozaimasu.
The two, you see the Dragonborn, they're stepping out onto the road behind Elias and Estrella, but then when you walk around the corner and talk to them, he seems to calm down and walks up to you as well. He says, and what have you found?
There are indeed Crab Clan in that the building up ahead.
We knew it. How many of them? Do you think enough that we could take them?
How many were there?
This is the same situation.
1,000 foot soldiers.
No, Estrella, you weren't there.
No, but remember this, like, I'm just, you know, the funny one. Just the quote. you know.
Okay.
You guys
So how
can
many?
hear this conversation, by the way. All of you see this interaction happening as Sakura just sort of walks right past you. But yeah, you can. We'll say, give me an investigation check for while you were in there, to get a rough estimate. Okay, you don't get a rough estimate. When they started asking you how many people were in this camp, you were like, "Oh, I should probably count how many people are in this room." And there were quite a few more. You saw that they had a much larger number of horses, and they probably had fewer than 30, but maybe closer to 26, 28, around there somewhere. You weren't 100% sure because you didn't check the top levels of that saloon. But yeah, there were definitely more people in there than in this camp.
She'll say, I think they have you outnumbered. I didn't get a clear amount, but I'm not sure it would be wise to fight them.
You see the Dragonborn smile, and he says, "Oh, no, that's good. That's how I like it. Let them think that." And they didn't have any suspicion of you?
She shakes her head.
Give me I guess a persuasion check, or a persuasion or deception, your choice. But I'll say you have advantage because you barely said anything at all. You're just shaking your head.
Okay. Yeah, let's just do persuasion.
And he just sort of like looks you up and down and doesn't seem all that convinced. And he just looks over and he says, "And are these friends of yours?"
Unfortunately.
Oh, nice friend you are.
They're just very rude.
But I assume this is the rest of Kinji's squad.
Like, oh. No, she's just saying that because, like, you didn't greet them. You just, like, walked right past everyone. That's so rude. She's, like, embarrassed to know you. She's embarrassed to, like, call you friends if you don't greet people. Because she bows to everyone. She isn't just like, hi. She, like, bows and formally greets everyone. And you guys, like, walk right past, like, a commanding officer, and you're just like, you don't even say hi. That's why she says unfortunately, because that's just completely embarrassing for her.
We don't
'Cause that's,
bother
like,
those we don't need to. It's just
it's
easy
like
as that.
basic manners. So
Yes.
she's just like mortified.
A man of his caliber have more important things to do than just saying hi.
Yeah, but you still say hi to them, you know? No one else really does the same as Sakura. Fair enough.
He just sort of he says it with a like smirk and a smile. He seems to be saying it slightly in jest, and he walks up and gives a bow and says, "Good evening. I am Miramoto Neji, and this is our commanding officer Daichi Gazura. It is a pleasure to meet you."
Any relation to the famous swordsmith?
Ah, yes. I see you are familiar with our family. And you are, miss?
Astria Karasu. And she does a bow. I get, just forward bow.
You see him like look up into the side, trying to rack his brain to see if he recognizes your name, but Just, I'm afraid I'm not familiar with your family. I beg your forgiveness. And you, sir, you do not wear the clothes of our clan. Are you part of this
No,
squad?
I am unfortunately not, or fortunately, depending on your views. I'm simply a private investigator, and my name is Elias Alder. Pleasure to meet you as well, and I'll just give a light bow.
You see the two sort of look back and forth at each other. And I don't know what happened to Jerry there. I assume he's probably not going to be joining us for the rest of this.
Probably just having
I-
trouble with his connection and stuff.
Yeah, he said he was having issues, so hopefully he is able to. But you'll
Candy
see
at
these
the
two.
moment.
You'll see these two sort of look you all over and say, "Well, sure, I'm sure my brother wouldn't mind if I borrowed some of his favorites for a little bit. If we are so outnumbered, we are going to need reinforcements, and I somehow doubt they are going to be coming anytime soon. You will all stay here in the camp and help us with the coming fight. Rest if you need it, but we will move at midnight." And he just nods, and then he just waits for your sort of acceptance of this. He seems very sure that you are going to do so.
Sakura will try to say that they have somewhere they need to be.
I'm sure my brother will understand if you're a little late for your arrival. Where is it that you are so urgently needed?
But more that we're trying to find something at the moment.
Well, I'm sure it's not going to disappear by morning. We will be moving at midnight, and we will catch them off guard. While the storm provides us cover, and you see he like puffs his chest out and like flaps his wing back as he says the storm. He seems to take pride in that word for some reason.
Cool.
Did these people do you any harm, or do you have any reason to want to remove them from the boat?
If they are gathering up the road, then that means they are preparing for an attack themselves. And I do not intend to sit around and wait.
She kind of looks at him and says, I think they really do just want to get home to their families.
And if that's what they want, then they'll have to go through us. If they choose violence, then that is on them. And my father will rain down his fury upon them in the coming summers. And he seems like he's got a plan, like he's thought this through. But Sakura, you can already tell there's a few flaws in that plan.
Okay, she'll nod and excuse herself. Say she needs to write a bad to her grandfather. So if they could excuse her quickly. And she'll go and find a nice, quiet spot to write a bad to the Crane clan. And was Crab Crane? My brain is still waking up. Apologies.
The people downstairs is Crab, while
Yeah.
the Crane is the Taton.
Okay, yeah. Crab clan, yes. And she'll write in the bed saying that they plan to attack at midnight, and she has unfortunately been forced to participate. She really doesn't want to. She just doesn't believe in like needless fighting, but it is what it is, I guess. So she writes a paper bad to them saying that they plan to attack at midnight, and if they can escape beforehand, they should try and do that.
Okay, so you're sending this to the Crab Clan at the tap.
Yeah, but she'll make it go like a long way round, you know, so that it's not like discreet.
Okay, I'll say
So
roll me a sleight of hand check to see if you are able to release this bird in such a way that it doesn't look like it's just going straight down the road. Okay. Yeah, you send it out and you see the bird sort of just coil around the tree and take off to the north and then just disappear into the forests, and you imagine it's going to make a loop around, but and sorry, that's to the right of the, the map at this point, technically. But anyway, sorry, my brain's also not functioning so well today. So you send that message, but I will say also give me a history check while I ask what are the rest of you doing that are standing there in front of Daichi.
I'll just say, I hope you can understand being a private investigator. I've not of much use as a combatant per se. Maybe I could do something else.
They both just look at each other and smile. Didn't that one just say that you got all your rings?
Relatively speaking, I'm not much of a combatant.
Well, what can you do then? Some kind of strategist? I don't think there's any investigations that we need doing right now. We need people that can fight. And if you're walking into our camp, that usually means that you either intend to fight or are willing to fight for us. So which is it?
I could fight, yes, but as is common for a private investigator, I could give you intelligence.
Well, it seems your friend there just gave us all the intelligence we need. But if you could get us anything else, it would be greatly appreciated. And what of you? And he just looks down at you, Astrea.
From my point of view, this battle doesn't seem to be needed to be fought. Merely let them pass back to their family. There can be no harm in that.
This is not about one day's battle, girl. If we start them out today, they cannot train their troops. If we start a battle with them, my father will have all the cause he needs to move on Aimama in the summer. If we do not do this, then he will have no reason to do so, and the rest of the government will get all pissed at him. Look, I don't come up with the bigger plans. I'm just here to stop them from getting home. And if they're going to attack us, then I seem to think that we should attack first. If no one's left to tell the tale, then what does it matter who attacked who first? I just want to be the one that's telling that tale.
Then, is it better to be remembered as the one that slaughtered innocents, or is it better to be remembered as the one that let the innocent walk away?
There are no innocents among the crab. And I have my legend already. And you can give me a history check or a religion again, to see if you've heard of this particular son of Daichi.
Yep, the history check you asked me to roll, it was bad. That's like near the lowest she can roll for history.
Yeah, wasn't a nat one though. So I'll say with the 14, you remember them talking about, the crab also seemed just as eager as this guy for a fight. They didn't seem like they were backing down. They just seemed exhausted. So you've told them that they should probably run, which is probably a smart idea, but you get the feeling they probably won't listen to that. Estrella, wow, okay, you remember the exact poem about this, which you've heard around Toto. He's not saying his own poem, but
Back.
yeah, and with the 34, you know that they call him the wolf because there are some sort of myths and legends that he is some kind of a werewolf, but that he is more draconic than most dragonborns, that it is some sort of were-dragon curse that he holds, but that would require further investigation. Speaking of which, we are going to pop back over to June, who has been flying across the sea and has finally come across something.
Ooh.
I will once again have to put your token down.
No problem.
There we go. You should be able to see now.
Just loading. There you go. Let's see.
Yeah, as you are flying along, you see that the waves there are swells upon swells that you're flying quite close to the water, but eventually you see one of these give way and you see this massive towering structure where around it the water seems still, as if it's not flowing quite as much. You've flown over tons and tons of just dead fish, dead squid in the bay, just debris from the storms the other night. But now, as you're getting close to this, you start to see birds that are actually landing on this idol up ahead, and it definitely bears the face of some sort of fish. Like, yeah, you can see that for yourself. But you see this thing up ahead as you approach.
Yeah. As I get closer, I'm looking at this image on this giant thing. Would I know what type of creature this is resembling? Maybe an underwater creature that I might know of?
Yeah, you can give me a nature check, or
Check.
yeah, or maybe just a history check. Actually, oh no, June wasn't there when. I don't think we've met any. Although, yeah, history or nature, because you might have come across these before.
Why is it not showing my rolls? Come on, why?
Yeah, that was a 9 that came through there.
Yeah, so that would be a 9 plus whatever, plus 6, so 15.
No, it was total.
Oh, total 9.
The nature check was a 9. So, yeah, you don't recognize this creature. However, I think maybe did not say the name in your book. No.
Yep.
But yeah, you can recognize this as some sort of fish folk. Is the only real name that you know. Although you might have seen similar designs to this when you were on the moon. Well, on one of those moons. And what you recognize more than the actual fish itself are the carvings around the sides, just around the tops, as that language you recognize as deep speech.
I'll make my way
Or-
closer and begin deciphering the language.
Okay, and as you get in closer, you hear this ringing sound in your head, like someone hitting a gong, and I need you to actually give me a wisdom saving throw, please, as you just feel this pulse of energy ring through your head.
Thing. Wisdom saving throw, hey?
Yeah.
Let's see if it rolls this time. Nope, still not showing up on my screen. Why?
Okay, that was a 15 total, but you feel this, that is enough to not be just knocked out of the air, and you sort of clutch onto this broom as you feel something trying to enter your mind with a sort of telepathic thought, and everything around you begins to go dark.
Oh no.
But you see, from the fish folk's eye, you see a light shine down, and you are pulled into this sort of tractor beam. It just moves you away from the rock, and I will move you now as it changes over. But you see the fish is basically looking down at you as you are hit by this blast, and it seems to be like you're caught in some kind of tractor beam.
Ooh, baby, it's heating up.
Okay, so as this happens, you can see that you are sort of surrounded by this magical darkness that is now the only light that you can see is coming from the fish folk's eye, and you hear this voice in your mind say, "Have you completed your investigation? Are you ready to report?"
Jim gives a big sigh and says, "Well, I have information, definitely."
Good. Enter the temple. We will be waiting. And you see this in the sort of where the light is coming from this creature's eye. You see stones moving, and it looks like it actually opens up even more so. And this light seems to be pulling you towards it. Like it seems like the entrance is that actual hole in the eye.
Alright, I'll fly up to it and through the entrance.
Okay. In that case, we're gonna stick with you for now. So I'm gonna move us over to the other map, but this is where things get interesting for June and for everyone else, because don't worry, we won't all be just waiting your turn. But I'll explain that in a second. You get pulled through this eye. You feel like as soon as you go through the light, you feel water rushing over you as you are plunged underwater. You immediately feel the pressure around you build. You can feel that you are deep underneath, and you as a diver might want to explain what you're actually going through, but it's not killing you, which is a good thing.
Right, awesome.
But yeah, you would feel like you are in some sort of deep cavern that you've just been thrust into, and you are definitely underwater. So I'm not sure what you would like to do about the whole breathing thing, but currently you're having to hold your breath.
Well, when I leveled up, I did switch my one invocation to allow myself to actually breathe underwater. So,
Oh, well, that
gift of
is
the
perfect then. Well, yeah, in that case, this is the instance where that now comes up as you feel that surge of, how does that actually affect you? Like, how does that take effect? Or is that like you grow gills, or
Yeah,
is it
that's pretty
just
much.
like,
So using my shape change abilities, I grow gills on my neck, around my neck, and as well as on my chest. And yeah, my skin also turns more of a pale blue now.
all right, very cool. So yeah, that's what you see as, I mean, do you want to describe anything else as you arrive in this chamber underwater?
Yeah. Also, my hands also become webbed, as well as my feet also grow a bit longer, and I also gain movement speed underwater equal to my current movement speed on land. So yeah, I can move around pretty well now.
Oh, that makes things so easy for Foundry.
I know.
Just keep the walking speed. Yeah, so you arrive here, and this is a rare thing in this campaign, I know, but yeah, there seems to be a tunnel ahead of you with an opening to the left and an opening directly to your right, where you can see this just tangled mass of weeds and seaweed that is just, it seems to be all entangled. I'm not sure if you would recognize this. You can give me a nature check to see if it is dangerous or not. But yeah, this place seems dangerous. There's a giant statue of one of these fish folk up ahead of you, and the roll, that was a 10. So you just think it looks like seaweed.
Man, these rolls are killing me today.
Yeah, this is material plain seaweed. Where you come from, that should died a long time ago.
All right, just some regular kelp and stuff. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll start making my way through to this area over here. Do I see this?
Okay. Yeah, as you get closer, give me a perception check. As you're swimming closer to it, you see all of this kelp move, and you can see a couple of strange, fleshy. Oh, yeah, you just see a couple of extra strands of seaweed that seem to be floating through there. But you realize that now, swimming through here, there's a lot that's probably tangled up in this mess. Like, there could be any kinds of sea creatures hidden in there, and you can see that it is moving around as if things are swimming through it, but you don't recognize that creature.
Oh boy, I'm just gonna assume it's friendly, and I'll definitely give it a wide berth, and I'll make my way around this way. Yeah, I think I'll stealth. I'll try to get low, a little bit low into the seaweed to try avoid it.
Okay. I am going to ask you to make a dex saving throw as you try and move through this, but going down below like that will give you advantage.
Thing means advantage. It's actually showing it this time. Nice.
Okay, so as you swim through, as you touch the first piece of seaweed that you brush past, you feel it recoil, and it literally coils up as it pulls in towards now what is sort of revealed is this clamshell that you see in front of you, that a lot of these tendrils are sort of leaking out of, with all of these leaves on them, and it seems like this clam just tried to sort of pull you in with one of them. It seems like this is a combination of actual seaweed and kelp and whatever, and these creatures that are just letting their tongues hang out, basically.
All right.
So yeah, as you touch that first one, though, you easily manage to pull free, and as you sort of swim further down, you now are aware of the danger of this place. So yeah, for every 30 feet you move here, you're going to have to make another dex save as you're trying to navigate through this.
All right. Yeah. Once I can see the other side of here, I'm just going to dimension door.
All right. Cool.
It's far easier than dealing with all this.
Okay, as you open your dimension door, which you will definitely be able to do, you see something moving through the kelp towards you, and you just see the familiar, like, you were there, right? I forget when you were which character, but yeah, you see the eye of a mind witness that has been taken as a thrall, just moving in towards you, much smaller than the one that you guys fought previously, but you definitely see that just as you nope out and appear on the other side of the room.
Bunda got a podium.
But where you arrive is not much friendlier, as you arrive before you see this one massive creature, two fish folk, and a mind flayer that all turn their heads to look at you as you stand there, and the mind flayer just turns its head away, and it seems to be in conversation telepathically with this one fish folk.
So they are more or less ignoring me at the moment.
Yeah, the big one seems to be like have its head turned to you, but yeah, they definitely don't seem to be immediately attacking or anything.
I'm gonna give them a wide berth and try make my way through. Try find the person I'm supposed to be meeting.
Yeah, to be fair, you kind of look like you fit in at this point with all the gills and the webbed hands and things. Like, you look pretty fishy yourself. But as you move into this chamber, you can see that there are a couple of these mind flayers that are walking around, and they are doing some sort of work in here. It seems like they are building something, and you can see at the end of the room there is one of these fish folk that is currently climbing into one of those clams to try and get.
Right.
Sorry, I thought the image hover wasn't working for a second. And you can also see a much larger mind flare, sort of at the end of the room, in the smaller room, that he seems to be sitting with all these pots around him. You're not entirely sure what the hell's going on there.
All right. I'm gonna just open up my mind and try figure out if there's like something pinging at me, so I can actually head into the direction I'm supposed to, and find the person I'm actually supposed to go to.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
All right. Persuasion. Just normal roll, hey?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, you can do it at advantage, but I don't think you'll need it. Yeah, 21. You don't 21. Need it. As you reach out, you see the two mind flayers in the room just turn and look at you, and the big one in front, just you see it turn its head and then slowly rise up off of the ground. You see these tentacles underneath as it just drifts around slowly and moves through the doorway. And as it approaches, you see it lift one long, just sickening hand, and it points to the door, and you see the tentacles hanging off of its face, just flowing weightlessly in the water as it just points to this door on the left. But at this point, the fish folk in the room, there are 3 fish in there. All of their eyes suddenly light up as they turn and look at you as well. And the rest of you guys are going to get control over some Kuatoa. So I would like you to please, we don't have to do it right this second. We can change it as we go, but I'd like you to please come up with a name for your fish folk dude, unless you just want to use the one that's been auto-generated for them here, and you will gain control of these tokens. I just realized that's more complicated. I thought I could assign just a token.
Jun's up to some weird shit.
Yeah, but for the rest of this little dungeon section, so that we're not all just sitting around, you guys are going to be able to control these Kuatoa if you want to. If you just want to watch until we get back to your scene, you can do that. But
Yep, mine is here all the way from the Underdark, Bloople Loople, aka Fred.
Good old
Good old Fred.
okay, because I'm very glad you said that, because now it's canon. This is where Fred went.
Jun suddenly looks at that that Twitter and thinks, do I know that Twitter from somewhere? Deja vu.
Okay, so just give me a second, and I will actually give you tokens, because I'll just have to make them. But yeah, if you could come up with a name, that would be very helpful.
He's just Fred now. Fuck his real name. Just Fred.
Yeah, no, look. No one's going to remember the little bubbling, popping noises that Kuatoa make to their name. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, I thought this would go much smoother. I should have done this part before, but bear with me a second.
Yeah, I'm just going to take this opportunity to just refresh my boundary. It's been a bit weird.
Okay, Sakura, are you on the map?
I'm reloading to see if I can get onto the map.
Cool, because then you should have a token for Fred. Anyone else got a name for a Kuatoa?
I'm just gonna call it Steve.
Yeah, all right.
No, Steve is a skeleton name.
You can name anything, Steve.
True.
James. James is a universal name.
Wait a second. Do you want them to name them like Jesse James and then one Meowth?
Gonna be Jimmy the Fish.
Meowth. No, just call him Glub.
Fred is a pretty spoopy looking dude.
Yeah, Fred's seen some shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He's worshipped a Dark Lord for a while. Steve looks a little bit less. He's still a little bit pink in the gills. And sorry,
Looks
what
like
was who was
Steve.
this? Is
Oh, I said James.
James, right? Just a moment, James.
We have bastardized so much.
I found his. I was even able to find his original art.
Fucking Fred, Steve, and James. Could you imagine finding alien life forms and then it just turns out just named Bob? The one's named Martin. There's John.
We literally, I'm playing
Fred.
in a Starfinder game, and we landed on our first planet. The three first characters we met were named Bob, Toby, and Gary. And I was like, wow, this sci-fi is crazy.
How are they know? They spoke perfect common as well. Is incredible.
Well, fuck, is June a mind flayer?
Uh-oh.
Okay, there we go. We should have 3 new little Kuatoa to help June get where she's going.
Well,
Can you all see those?
yeah, my forge is just still loading. But after I refreshed it, it'll probably be like a minute or two.
Yeah, that's cool.
It died again, so I'm gonna reload, and then if it dies again, I'm just gonna let it be.
I'm just currently watching through the stream.
Okay, well, we can carry on through the stream if you want.
Yeah.
Just to keep things going. Yeah, so you see the Eulithar points at the door, and
Oh, no, mine just
3 little Kuatoa seem to awaken to possibly come and help you. These Kuatoa, you guys are able to communicate through deep speech, though it may only list Undercommon. I don't know. Do you guys, June, do you speak Undercommon?
Undercommon? Let me check. No, I do not speak Undercommon.
These are all supposed to speak deep speech, though.
Yeah, if they speak deep speech, I'll be able to understand them.
And
Okay, I've added. Just adding.
Love that. Jimmy the fish.
just so that we remember you're the one that's actually a gangster somewhere else.
Tuna the fish. I like it.
Dude, it's
It's like a gang
it's
name.
like knowing someone in high school and their nickname was the Human.
Yeah, but everyone, you know, like all the other photos are like, no, he's the man. He the man. No, he the fish.
Yo, hey, what the fish doing?
What that fish do?
my hand hurts too much for this.
I got to show you what. I don't know if you saw this. Fred's maybe seen better days.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No,
What?
he looks upset. He's frowning.
Yeah, going from his like confused, mindless character for Fred.
Okay. Anyway, so what are you guys doing? As you are now in a pit of mind flayers, but this all seems to be quite cheerful at the moment.
And Jin will give an odd look to the Kuoto now following her, and she will begin making her way down the pathway.
Fred follows with blobbling noises.
Okay, so as you guys make your way further down this tunnel, you exit through, well, into another much larger chamber that you can see. There are strange symbols all along the floor that lead up to a massive altar, and sitting on that altar is the seemingly dead body that it seems to have some strange magic around it, but the body of a dragon. And this is a familiar looking dragon.
Is it the same depicted in my book?
Yeah, that seems to be what they're doing. The picture in your book is not necessarily an actual creature that's alive, but it seems to be that is the dragon you saw in the stomach of the kraken, and it seems that it lost its fight with whatever was out there.
Well, Jin will give a deep breath, or whatever the equivalent is of a deep breath underwater, and will step up towards this giant thing. And she'll open up her mind to it.
You opening up your mind to the dragon?
Indeed. I'm assuming this is where I have to go, so...
Yeah, there's nothing seems to happen as you're trying this, though you can hear this strange like chittering sound, like there is something moving. It's as if there's like worms crawling underneath its skin, and you can see that the body of the dragon is convulsing slightly. But as you get up close to it, you realize that the creature is dead. It is in some sort of a stasis as they are trying to transform it. And it seems to be undergoing this transformation, but like it is not yet complete. They are doing something nasty to this dragon.
Gotcha.
And
All right.
music got way too cheery.
I was expecting some, goddamn Lovecraftian music right now.
Yeah, I missed that on all the music opportunities for tonight. But yeah, this is close enough. yeah, as you arrive up here, you are not seeing any obvious other paths forward other than an entrance, well, doorways on either side of this altar. But that dragon doesn't seem to be moving. It seems to have been definitely defeated.
All right. I'll study it for a couple seconds, and then I'll make my way to one of the pathways. I'll go through the left one, I guess, for now.
Okay.
Trying to keep
Are any of the
distance from them.
Kotoa doing anything as you make your way through these tunnels?
In fact, Jin actually looks towards the Goto and signals which way she should go.
You can always roll me a survival check as your Kotoa.
My thing is like reloading because I was like, let me see if I can get to the maps one last time. So Fred just kind of shrugs. He's kind of new here. Doesn't know his way around much.
Yeah, Fred would only get a +1 to that roll anyway. So if you just want to roll a d20, yeah, it's probably not going to go so great. I've rolled one anyway for Fred, and
Thank you.
there was a
Sounds
car
like you rolled
crash
a nat
noise,
one.
so I think it probably didn't go so well for someone.
My
But Fred got a 6. So.
my Kotor will go up to June and give him guidance.
Give her. Shun is a her.
Sorry.
Well, to be fair, Jun's more of an it, really.
Yeah, June
Okay, I'll
currently
give
has
whatever the
bells on
fuck
her
you want,
neck
guys.
and like. Sorry, say again there. I cut you off.
No, it's nothing.
Okay, I will add that as Jimmy the fish comes in, gives you guidance. Sorry, I seem to find it funny.
You can see just a lot of like blobs of air coming from its mouth, and just good luck.
Thank you, I think.
I'll just stare at you with my fishy eye.
Does like do your eyes like blink not at the same time?
Yeah, one slightly
one
lags behind the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't actually your eyelids to begin with. These are something you've grafted on from something else. But yet you now have guidance and get the impression that the path on the left is actually
Alright, cool.
where you're being pulled towards now that this little fish man gives you some guidance.
Alright, so June will make her way towards that direction.
So, sorry, I'm just trying to. Oh, are you on? Cool.
For now.
Okay, so yeah, June, as you're making your way up there, you can feel there is a heat coming from the passage on the left, but on the right, you see that the walls are sort of broken in, and it seems like there is a tunnel through that way, which all of these Kotoa seem. They don't seem perturbed by. That seems to be where it's leading.
Well, I guess I'll go through that tunnel.
Map died. No luck.
All right. Well, to be fair, there's a lot going on this map. There's like bubbles and it's all underwater and stuff. But yeah, June, as you make your way through this tunnel, you start to feel that same ringing in your ears, and it feels like you are definitely getting closer. And as you get to the end, you see it open up into another chamber, but this chamber seems to be much older. You can see that there are. Oh, sorry.
Fucking hell.
Yes. when you can hear it across the world, that's when you know the bike is too loud.
That's the sound June's broom makes when she zooms by.
It's got like an engine on it, like in Mandalorian. But as you walk through here, you can see that there are carvings down the walls, and these statues there are 2 statues of these giant fish, their eyes glowing, and as you enter, you hear this rumbling sound that it seems to be reacting to your presence.
June will make her way in.
Fred is just following somewhere.
Yeah, so as you come in here, Fred will know this chamber all too well, as you'll see in the one of these pillars. You'll notice that there are strange carvings on these pillars that sort of lead up to a giant fish's mouth. Oh God, sorry, everything's lagging for me as well. So these pillars in this room, you can see that there are figures carved into them, and it looks like stories being told in these carvings. You can see a couple of characters that are repeated throughout, but these are not stories that you are familiar with. So it's up to you if you want to investigate them or what. But
Yeah.
you
I'll
can.
have a look at this pillar over here, see if I can figure out if there is a story that is understandable to me or anything like that.
Yeah, you see the image of what looks like a humanoid woman that is standing, and she is kneeling down in front of. It looks like it is maybe some kind of a cat, or like some kind of a dog maybe, but it looks like it is just. The dog looks like it's just made of some abstract design. You're not entirely sure if this is a real creature, or if she's seeing it in a dream. But as you look around the pillar, you see more images depicting this same figure crafting the animal, whatever that thing is. It seems like this woman built that dog.
All right. June will make her way towards the particularly unnerving-looking red light as it's beckoning her.
Okay, as you are making your way closer, you will notice out of the corner of your eye, with your passive perception being so ridiculous, on these pillars, you will see one of the faces looks. It's the face of this angel figure that is standing there, and you recognize the face from the carving. Like, these are very old carvings, but you unmistakably recognize this face, because it's the same face you saw when you took that golden mask off of that decapitated head, and you recognize that it is probably Aquila.
Oh my. Okay. Are there any other figures there representing perhaps the monk or the gladiator-looking characters from that previous fight?
No, you see, as you look around, the one seems to be some kind of an elephant. The other one seems to be some sort of tabaxi. Looks vaguely like Seto, but not really. Just could be any tabaxi, really. And the other one seems to be that same humanoid woman that you saw in the other carvings.
Yeah. Meta me knows that, but June does not. June will continue down the path.
Okay, and to the Kuatoa, as you guys are following after June, all of you, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh.
Including you, June. But this
Me too.
this is. Yeah, sorry, I worded that bad.
And for some reason, it's not being what's space is being weird again. But I rolled 23.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's pretty perfect. So June, you don't even notice this. You can kind of hear the sound and feel the vibrations through the water, but with a with a 6, a 4, and a 10, the Kuatoa are they immediately stop. All of you are frightened, and you are way too terrified to go in there. That is like bad news. Even being in this chamber is a little bit worrying, but going into that chamber is the worst idea you could possibly have as a Kuatoa. So
Yeah, Fred
what do you
starts
guys?
going, and then he kind of like is like no, and so he like distracts himself by looking at like whatever it resembled Aquila, was like, he looks oddly familiar.
Yeah, Fred probably carved these statues. To be
Oh,
fair. Like he had some hand in this. He knows exactly
oh,
who those. Like he actually met the people on these.
then he'll just be like, ooh, he'll want to go in and be like, no, and then he'll be like, wow, but look at these things I made.
Yeah, these are definitely. He would definitely know all the stories that are in these. That are in these. This is like his religion. So yeah, the rest of the rest of you probably do as well. The other two Koto, but at this point, Fred was actually there, like
Yeah.
when it was written.
Find it very funny that whatever is typed by the Goethe, whoever's typed, I think it's Saka that's typing it, it just gets translated automatically for me, so that he's literally just saying bloop. It's not, no, he's just saying bloop. That's all he's saying. Bloop bloop. He's speaking in deep speech, but he's saying bloop in deep speech. It's like
Zukotoa. That's how they speak, and like, in my mind at
Oh.
least, that's how they speak. They're just like these like bubble sound thing.
You know how people like just sometimes just make grunting sounds, just like.
Yeah, that's their
Yeah,
version.
it's
But
like bloop is just that, but for fish folk.
bloop.
Yeah, but they're doing the exact same motion that a fish makes when it's just swimming around, but they emit
Like
more of a noise.
the mouth just mechanically like opens, shuts, opens, shuts.
Yeah, basically. That's all of their names. If you speak like that, no joke. If you try and pronounce any Kuatoa name by just doing that like bubbling sound with your mouth, it's way easier. That's what all of it is. I guarantee you, it's written by people going "Bop, bop, bop," like that's all it is. But
Yeah.
What a
yeah,
beautiful people.
If you actually try pronounce it as a normal person would, you might summon a demon. So be careful with that.
yeah. So
Such an amazing
noticing
D&D.
these, noticing that Kuatoa are definitely not following you anymore in June. Are you going to keep going in there?
Yeah, I'm here for one thing and one thing only, so I'll continue.
All right. And as you enter that chamber, we will jump back to the Blue Dragon camp as you guys are still sitting around and you have got some time. We're jumping back to basically right after we left off. You've got some time to sort of rest if you want before midnight, or I mean, look, this guy seems very confident that he wants you to fight for him, but it's up to you guys. You can pick a side. You can just try and get out of there. It's totally up to you what you want to do. But we rejoin you now at the camp. What are you guys doing? And June, if you want to play just a random samurai in this camp, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
Sakura's trying to find a way to get out of this fight.
So I assume Sakura rejoins them outside after sending the bird.
Yeah.
Okay, you all have noticed as you sort of went through one of these tents, you did notice there's like a campfire around the back. There's a couple of people sitting around there. This camp is pretty big. You could definitely find your own little spot around if you look around a bit.
Okay.
At this point, it's getting close to 6 o'clock, about 5:45 in the evening, and yeah, I mean, you guys have all had quite a day. If you remember, you started this morning with the Kabuki Theatre, and now you're being told that at midnight we're going into battle. So, do you guys, what do you want to do?
Mm.
I am currently just waiting for my fucking laptop to stop shitting itself.
Phoenix, no. Mm. Let's see.
Oh, is that last?
Man, the players be dropping like flies. First, Parad don't make it, then Jared drops, then last.
Yeah, it's not a Foundry session without some technical difficulties. Whether it's usually me that's having these issues. So
No. I'm the one who always can fulfill that requirement. The technical difficulties.
yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
I just want to put your ball back again.
Me and Dev.
The problem is when it happens to me, the whole game stops because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't move the map now. But June, I don't know if you were here when I said, but if you want to play a random samurai in this camp, you're more than welcome to do that. They are Blue Dragon Clan samurai.
Come back.
Okay, have you missed what I said every time?
Wait, what?
I keep talking to you every time you leave. Like, if you want to play a random samurai in the camp, you can.
I did say I was critiquing a bowl for my popcorn.
Yeah, it's just been bad. I didn't see a message the first time. Anyway, I'll say it for the final time. If you want to play a random samurai in this camp, you can do that. I can give you a token. They are Blue Dragon Clan, so yeah, from any of those schools.
No, it's all good. I'll just watch.
Okay. Well then, what are the rest of you three doing?
Sakura's coming back into the camp, I guess, and seeing what the others are doing.
Ultimately, I'm just trying to think of how I can sabotage Blue Dragon Clan.
Ooh, I like it. Sakura sort of mentally contacts you and says that she doesn't want to fight the Crab Clan. It's not fair.
Neither do
like-
I, but we
Yeah,
can't
like
fight.
it's
They are going to fight, and we ought to at least temper it as much as we can.
like she tells you that she doesn't find it fair that there are like well-rested samurai who haven't fought and stuff going up against samurai who are exhausted and just trying to get home. She's really upset about the situation and asks if you have a plan to escape before the fight happens, because she doesn't really want to interfere. Because if she does interfere, it will probably be in the Crab Clan's favor, and she doesn't want to commit like treason and shit.
The only idea really coming to mind is trying to convince the Dragon Clan to ignore one side of their camp, as in like pull troops from that side, saying you don't have the men to cover all of these angles, and just so that the Crab Clan can go through there and just bypass them in some way or another.
No, the Crab Clan seem to want to fight. They just don't want to help either side fight.
That's
because they want to fight, but I don't want to sway particularly in the Blue Dragon in the Dragon's Clan's direction.
If you guys
So, I
want,
mean,
if Sakura, if you want to show Elias sort of what you saw, because I'm sure Sakura would have. I mean, Sakura's got a good enough memory to give a pretty accurate account, I would imagine. So if you guys would both like to give me an investigation check to compare notes and basically give Elias the information you got from the tavern.
I'm still trying to reload my my page.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. I was also wondering why you guys are having this conversation in the middle of the street. Like,
oh yeah, my map, no map.
that's fine. But I assume you guys have moved at least like into a tent or somewhere. You're not
Yes.
standing
Oh,
right next to Daichi. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
assumed so. I just
Phoenix,
so don't worry.
no.
He wasn't listening in on that conversation. You guys have been having this in private. But
And just to be safe, Sakura is saying all her stuff telepathically.
okay. So while you guys are having this conversation, Estrella, what do you do?
Considering if it is now that I should just be like, teleport circle, and then out and boom. Oh well, the rest is just left. Nah, would be bad. I'm not sure what to do.
Z arrives and goes, "Oh, hey guys, I forgot I existed."
Wait,
So
Z?
these drugs are intense, man. Well done, you guys get your fire rings. That's cool. That's cool.
Oh my God.
So she's just been standing there, sort of high as a kite, fucking.
I wasn't just standing there. I was asleep behind that tree. So what's happening?
Oh my god! Don't change. Yeah, we are. Sakura, would you like to explain it? I feel sketchy about saying things out loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'll explain it telepathically.
I mean, I will say that where you guys are standing right now, you can give me a check to see if anyone's within earshot. But with the rain that is pouring down outside, you don't imagine, like maybe a good shinobi, but you don't imagine anyone can overhear your conversation in here.
That'd be a
Should be safe.
perception check.
Yeah, you can give me a perception. Yeah, so between the two of you, you definitely don't
D&D.
see anyone directly outside the tents that you're in. You've got a good eye on.
Here, I've been asking the whole fucking day. So take a break and uncheck the dishwasher. Or I switch the wireless.
So you don't notice anyone outside the tents, but you do notice that Daichi is sort of in conversation with the other guy. They seem to be in their own conversation and definitely not able to overhear you. But unless there's any sort of magic that's listening in, you should be safe.
Right then. Yeah, I'll still just be trying to brainstorm what we can do.
Because Sakura says that she could technically sway it in either side's direction with her AoEs. Because she has spells that cover wide areas, and if she did have to participate, she'd probably use AoEs on someone. I don't know.
Well,
She doesn't
it's a
really know what to do.
storm. There's a storm, and I'm thinking maybe if you have anything magic that can do this, sort of flood battlefield. Well, not flood per se, but
Let me see.
something that
So-
would split the two parties apart.
So I assume you've explained the situation to Z at this point. We don't have to.
Yeah,
to-
yeah.
She would sort of say that. Well, I mean, if you guys want to rebel, helping the Crab Clan here might be in our best interest. I mean, no one knows that we're here. No one would really know that we're involved, and we might be able to gain some allies. But I don't know. That's still treason against the Dragon Clan.
It's not treason if you don't get caught, but getting caught is.
She goes, yes, exactly.
Wait, there's going to be a storm, right? Or is there already a
Yes.
storm?
There's. I imagine it's oncoming.
Yeah, it is raining at this point, but the clouds are only getting darker. It's not. Doesn't seem like it's going to let up anytime soon.
So arson is out of the equation.
Well, Sakura does have chain lightning.
If you can pull that off without it getting traced back to you, go ahead.
Do you think that's possible? To make chain lightning look like it's from the storm? To try and make it look like the chain lightning is like just spontaneously coming down and just ironically only attacking blue dragon. Wait, no, fuck, but she likes the samurai.
No.
Wait,
I
no,
don't think I
that's something that she can use in their favor, because a lot of these samurai, they know Sakura, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, a couple of them.
would it...
If they are poorly informed, then maybe you could gather them all for a tea ceremony so that by the time the planned attack is meant to happen, they're disorganized.
Ooh. Or put sleeping drugs in the tea.
Shit, yeah?
Because... No, but that's gonna harm her tea-making reputation.
I mean, call it sabotage from the other side, and
I mean...
although that wouldn't be very convincing.
Yeah, I think you might have to stop worrying about your reputation so much, Sakura. I mean, if we're gonna do this, if we're really gonna go through what we agreed on, it's gonna get ugly at some point, and I think we're gonna have to do more than make some bad tea.
Wait, what does she mean by what we agreed on?
The rebellion on on
Oh,
deities.
okay. Well, yeah, she was always kind of planning to do that. She nods and says, "Well, knowing, because obviously she interacts with these samurai on a daily basis. So, is it a fair assumption that she kind of knows some of them to an extent?"
Yeah, you definitely know the two guys that were up at the wine barrel. They've often come to visit you, but and maybe one or two in the guard tower. But you also know that not everyone in the Dragon Clan is quite that friendly. Like, they're friendly with you because you make them nice tea, but this a lot of these soldiers are brutal, and that in particular, their commander, he's a real dickhead. He's never come to you for tea. He's like, I think you've noticed that already. But yes, many of his soldiers are perfectly nice guys that you're used to seeing often.
I have an
Okay.
idea. I have Mage Hand. What if I could just take the fucking weapons while they aren't looking and just hide them? Some of them, anyway.
Because here's the thing, we want an outcome. I guess Sakura's kind of an idealist in that way. That she's trying to think of an outcome where
Both sides
the
win.
Crab Clan, where the Crab Clan doesn't get hurt, but also the good soldiers don't get hurt. You know?
If we manage to take their weapons, then really, I think it'd be easy to convince them not to fight, because nobody feels confident fighting without a weapon. Unless you have magic or
The
something
thing
of that
is
sort.
that, like, they kind of know Sakura and Jerry and I guess Estrella, but they know about Sakura and Jerry's offensive power. So even if we took their weapons, then they'd still be like, "Oh, it's fine, we have Jerry," you know? Because Jerry's a powerhouse.
Feign capture.
Yeah, as she says that, Elias, it does sort of pop into your mind that you look at Jerry and Jerry and Sakura, and they're not exactly like, you've seen them fight, and it's a lot scarier than you would imagine from
Yeah.
those two. You know not to underestimate the Blue Dragon Clan. They could be tougher than they look, and that magic is, they are no stranger to magic. But yeah, there are plenty of weapons strewn about. Most of these are fully fledged samurai, so they each have at least 2 swords on their hip, and a lot of them you see are carrying bows, but most of them seem to have their weapons on them. You do see that there are a couple of other weapons scattered around on stands. Some of them seem like they've been confiscated. They look like Crab Clan weapons, but yeah, you can see a few opportunities to destroy weapon racks and stuff like that. Hi, Jerry's back.
Jerry's back. Nice. Sorry, I need to just go do something quickly. I'll be back now.
Cool.
But yeah, Sakura would like to go and talk to, like, the two that she knows at least, when I get back. So don't, like, go and fight people, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you guys are still sort of standing here, strategizing and trying to figure out what side you're going to pick here, or what you're going to do about it. So, Jerry, are you back with us? Is everything all right? Well, to catch you up on the current situation, everyone is currently in a tent at the Blue Dragon Clan camp, debating how they're going to navigate the battle, which is supposedly these blue dragons are going to march at midnight to attack the crab, and the crab clan are probably making their way here anytime. So everyone's sort of trying to figure out what they're going to do about that. And I think, Estrella, you were the only one that had any actual information on this son of Daichi. So I don't know if you want to share that with the rest of the group.
Yeah. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, yeah, I have an idea. Why don't we use his hubris against him? So, we suggest a battle one-on-one to see who wins, since as he is so great and powerful, he would easily best the best soldier of the opposite side. So, yeah, and if we then place Jerry on the opposite side as a capture, and he's been put there, then he will most likely gonna work. As long as, of course, they keep to that they are willing to let them pass when the commander is defeated.
Z pipes up and says, well, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, it's not uncommon for two generals to face off against each other one-on-one instead of sending their entire armies against one another. No one likes that many casualties. But sending Jerry against that, I mean, that then they're going to know who's against who. We'll definitely be picking a side there. Maybe the Crab Clan has a general of their own that would actually be able to beat him one-on-one.
Potentially. Unless we could disguise Jerry somehow. So they would think, oh, he's just a random Crab Clan soldier.
Well, would you have any magic for that?
You see Z currently looking through her spells. She's like, I like this idea. I mean, it's possible. I'm not sure how much I can do with a simple illusion, but I mean, Jerry, do you think, I mean, would you be willing to fight that guy?
We'd beat the shit out of him, yeah.
She gives a big smile, like she's like, yeah, all right, of course. So who can disguise him then? I feel like, I mean, I feel like June's the expert on those kinds of things, but all right. So speaking of which, we are going to jump back to June at this point. I'll let you guys, if you guys want to keep strategizing in the chat or whatever, you're more than welcome to. But we'll give you a second to think about it until Sakura gets back as well. As June,
Yes.
we rejoin you.
Man, I have so many ideas to help you guys sabotage, but I'm not there to help you.
Yeah, this is like this is why I get frustrated with the splitting of the party. It's like you lose a certain set of expertise, and it's like, oh no, what now? But it's also works with the narrative. So. But June,
Okay.
you enter alone into this chamber. Oh. And I don't know why you entered invisible. As you walk in, you can see that there is this massive structure in front of you. There seems to be something swirling within it. You can't quite make it out from where you're standing, but you see 3 mind flayers that are currently just moving in this strange rhythmic motion. They seem to be chanting. There's some sort of strange clicking sound, and they're all looking down into this like pool before them. And around you, these massive statues, obviously you can see on the map. Sorry, Gary.
Yeah, Jin will move closer to try to get a better look at whatever this thing is.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you are still underwater, so you can easily swim around here. And as you rise up, you can see, give me a perception check and a nature check, please.
Perception, let's hope it sends it to the thing.
Or nature or arcana, either or.
Nature or arcana, I think they're both the same. Like arcana, why not? Oh, there we go.
Okay, yeah, so with your perception, as you look over there, it is disgusting what you see in there. It looks like just a pool, just massive organs, and you can see what looks like a giant tadpole swimming around in it. That you can tell is a brine pool, and knowing what you know, there is more than likely an elder brain in there. But there is something else in there as well, and it looks like the biggest tadpole you've ever seen. It seems big enough to command a dragon with.
Jin feels very uncomfortable seeing that. She'll again open up her mind again to the 3 mind players to let them know that she's there waiting.
Okay, yeah. And as you do that, you'll see from the brine pool something begin to emerge, and you see these strange tendrils coming off of it as the elder brain rises up from this brine, and the tadpole is just thrashing underneath it, and it says, "Ah, good, you have come," and you hear it. Multiple voices coming from multiple directions, but all speaking to you in your head in deep speech. What have you got to report?
That depends. What would you like to know?
You were sent on a mission to the material realms, and we wish to hear your findings. We do not know where you have explored.
Well, originally inserted up in what is the mountain called? Mount Kagan or something like that. I joined up with a group of particularly powerful individuals and followed their journey. They were out getting their rings, but they've had a lot of dealings with different things and even destroyed a different elder brain along the way.
Returned.
give them any other details about the the group.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So as you
What
sort
to
of
do with them?
recount your exploits, it will say, "Yes, this is the group that Lorifax has chosen. Do you believe that they are ready for the transformations that are to come?"
It'll be tricky with them, but I do believe they might be ready.
The Dark Lord is not so sure, but you have done as we have asked. And you see they all just hover up a little bit higher into the air. As let me get okay. As you can now tell, this, although this elder brain is the thing addressing you, you can hear now that these voices are actually coming from all of the statues around you in this room. And you recognize that these are statues of the old ones. These are a series of ancient elder beings that they you might not even be that familiar with, but you can give me a history or a religion check to see if you are.
Sure thing. I'll make a history check. Why not? Nope, I do not know. These rolls,
You have-
man, they're always below 10. I do not know why.
Yeah, you have never seen, or you don't know of any of these in particular. You've never seen these forms before, but you've also learned to sort of stop questioning those kinds of things in order to keep your sanity. But at this point, they will ask you to basically give your understanding of what you've seen in the world. So, I mean, basically, in deep speech, this makes a lot more sense. But they're basically asking for your understanding of the plot and what you think has been transpiring on the material realm, and if there is anything that they should know before they're. Oh wait, I didn't give you the. Yeah. Okay. So
No?
sorry. You will get. There is a new page in your book that, as you are speaking to them, will begin to emerge, and you should be able to see it in Foundry now.
I'm waiting for it.
Okay, do you see?
No, not at the moment. I only see the 3 messages that were there.
Ah, weird. Okay, I'm going to just do
Oh,
this.
there you go.
You guys might all be able to read it, but make it deep speech if you got. Anyway, but yeah, that's fine. Don't mitigate. But this is what you see after that. You get right up to the explaining finding the dead dragon turtle and all that, and basically the last time you've had any contact with Uchibito Bay. And this is the information that they share with you. We have issued you a new task, but you have done as we asked. So, once you have explained what you think is happening, we will offer you a choice. You will either be allowed to roam free and return to the world and back home as a mist walker, and you will see one of the mind flayers will float down towards you, and he will pull from in these robes. He will pull a small emerald gem that seems to have straps attached to it, almost like tentacles, but they just seem very, very thin, and it looks like a gem necklace, or you could choose to stay and assume your true form here with us. And in the other hand, he produces a tadpole.
God. Ah, no.
You would be made one of the most powerful among us, a Eulitharid able of finally, one day, becoming an elder brain yourself. And we will take over this world and rule anew. And you just hear all of these voices. Some of them they seem to start conflicting with each other, like they've all got different plans for what to actually do with the world, but they all seem to agree that if you take the tadpole, you will be able to join them and in their quest.
Ah, damn. Okay. Damn, Dave, you can't drop this bombshell on me like this.
Well, if you'd like some time to consider, we can jump back to the others.
Yeah, I'm definitely have
Yeah.
to take a couple seconds to think about this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's your choices are to travel or to stay. You can either become a mist walker or become a mind flayer, basically. Those are your options, but only one of them will actually allow you to really return properly. Otherwise, yeah, this is a big one. So we're going to jump back to the camp as the rest of you are still standing around strategizing. Have any of you got a plan for what to do? God.
I honestly don't think there's a way to do this without giving ourselves away.
You hear from atop the tower, you hear one of the archers shout, "Captain, we've got crab on the horizon." And he goes, "What the fuck does that mean?" He says, "The crab clan is approaching, sir. They are coming down the main road." He goes, "Oh shit. Everyone ready?" And he starts walking out into the middle of the road. And you start to hear people clambering around. They seem to be assembling. You guys are still very much behind these walls, but it sounds like they're starting to move and they're starting to do something.
Fuck, we don't have time. We're out of time. Dang it.
You are like the guys that you wanted to talk to are just outside the tent that you're in now, Sakura. You would easily be able to go and talk to them, but it seems like the camp is starting to like wake up and people are trying to figure out what's going on. It doesn't seem like you're under attack yet, though. It just seems like they've spotted the grab.
Well, at this point, the most I can do to help is just petty. I suppose I could set fire to some of the tents.
Guys, just hold on a second. Something just landed on my roof. I thought it was a cat, but it was way too heavy and the dogs are going mad.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Russian paratroopers.
Oh god, they're coming to Africa.
That's the solution. We pull in the Russians, and then they have something to fight against as a united front. Perfect solution.
Just hit Daichi with an N-Law.
As I said, I could always use great invisibility on Jerry, and then he could just be like the disregard and of Daichi. Hopefully.
Suppose, but
But wait, invisibility goes away when you attack.
Greater invisibility does not.
Oh, nice.
That's the great thing about it. Wait a second. Sakura, couldn't you summon one of your creatures, just like that, and then have it attack Daichi and then be like acting like you didn't?
Undead aberration, undead aberration, undead aberration. I'm sure I had another one prepared. Elemental. I have yet to create my Megan and Simulacrum. It's gonna be fun.
Or
Having a clone and a life-sized human doll.
a clone. Not in close
Not a clone. Exactly. Okay.
Nah, simulacrum. Yeah.
Wait.
That's fine.
Let's see what this is.
I have an idea now. Maybe if they like dragons, what if you summon the shadow dragon?
I honestly, I think I know what I'd want to do. She'll like contact Estrella and ask if she can like literally just make her invisible for a turn when she gives the cue, because she has a great spell that can just completely fuck with this dude mentally. I feel like it's a great way to die, honestly. Have you heard of the spell Reality Break? Interesting spell.
Cancer, yeah. Have. Then again, didn't mess with reality.
Yeah. So the choices between, depending on what he rolls on the d10 at the start of each of his turns, he takes 6d12, 8d12, or 10d12 different damage. And different kind of stuff. One's just stunned, teleported, fun, blinded, knocked prone. Such an interesting spell. I feel like this is going to be such a great opportunity to use it.
Wait a second. Invisible.
Yes, I'm back, sorry.
Oh, perfect! That actually works perfectly, that spell. Yes.
What? My spell? Nice.
Yeah, because, like, didn't you say it's a shame you can't control it, because teleport, if that could be directed, couldn't you just be like, move all of the Crab Clan to, like, somewhere that is not here?
No. This is like single target. He would be teleported. So basically, she just mentally like contacts you and asks if it's possible for you to literally just give her invisibility for one turn when she gives you a specific symbol, like hand sign or something, like a fucking finger guns or something.
She can do that, yes.
But nice. We are starting a rebellion. Let's go. How wise do you think this dude is?
Either very or not at all.
Mm.
Oop.
Oh.
Honestly, the only thing I can really do for you at this time is just set fire to shit.
Worth a try.
Okay, I think I'm back. No.
How wise does this particular son of Daichi seem?
Well, let's just say, if it was intelligence, not too bright.
Mm-mm. But does he seem like very wise or not really?
Maybe you. It seems like he's got more of a plan than he's letting on. But yeah, Estrella's right. He doesn't seem like the smartest, though. He may have a lot of draconic instincts. He seems a lot more dragon-like than other dragonborn that you've met.
Mm.
But yeah, sorry. At this point, what were you guys doing as the whole camp is now starting to get ready?
I think we might go with, but hang back a bit. Wait, are we doing the greater invisibility on Jerry? When he just like bonks.
We have to pick one.
No, because greater invisibility. Cast that fast. Sakura can sort of ready in action, and then as soon as invisibility is cast on her, she can cast her thing. But I'd recommend going with Jerry first. Because I feel like it would be a bit hard for him to hide, you know. Even though he's like smallish, he's pretty noticeable. Wait. I don't know if we ever clarified. Can Sakura cast spells in fox form?
She's done before.
Has she?
The time at the orc ship when you was hiding in the barrel, I think.
Oh, rad. Okay. This changes
Yeah.
everything.
We'll say you use your tail for somatic components, but can you speak in fox form?
Yeah, she can.
Yeah, then you can cast spell.
Okay. Then she'll look at Estrella and just mentally tell her, never mind. I don't need that invisibility. And like, I'm assuming that everyone's like, there's no one looking at them at the moment.
Everyone in the camp seems to be rushing towards the front gate. They all seem to be like quite organized at this point, as they are all falling into their different squads and things.
Nice. So she turns into Baby Fox and she climbs the tree.
Okay, you go climb a tree.
And she's just kind of like chilling in this tree indiscreetly as a tiny fox,
Okay, from the
Like,
tree you can see that they are amassing around the front gate, and they are all falling into a marching order. It seems like they're getting ready to actually leave their encampment to go and meet them out on the field.
Okay, then never mind. She'll have to sort of go find a closer spot.
Yeah, there's you in the forest. It will not be hard to find a tree.
Okay. She just wants to find one within like casting range of the battlefield. So I don't
Okay,
know.
so
how hard
are you
it would
all
be.
going to just be following them onto the battlefield? You're not doing anything now as they're all getting ready.
Right now, I'm just gonna walk out, sort of going towards the front gate, but mainly keeping an eye out for anything particularly explosive or flammable. Anything that looks like it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, other than by the way, you can add a packet of smoke powder on D&D Beyond. That is an official item.
Oh.
And then you can see how that actually can work mechanically. But from what you're looking around here, you can give me an investigation or a perception check to try and find something explosive.
I'm much better at one of them than the other.
Okay, so you find that most of the things here, like you sort through quite a few things that are just soggy from the rain, and you imagine probably not until you find a barrel that is it is very well sealed and it is covered. They're clearly trying to keep it out of the rain, and as you uncover that, you find that it is filled with smoke powder, and in a crate next to it are a bunch of silver. They look like gourds, but they seem to be like you are able to fill them with the smoke powder. They look grenades, but they don't seem like they have been filled yet. They are just empty shells.
Alright. I will pocket a couple of those steel balls, you said?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a hollow steel ball that you can fit a fuse into and turn it into a bomb. But you, at this point, are you going to fill them up with smoke powder as you're doing
No.
this?
I'll just grab a couple of them. I'll fill one with smoke powder.
Okay. I mean, we can make it a sleight of hand check to see how many you can fill quickly. But if you just want one, you can easily do that.
It's just one for now.
Okay. Yeah, you can easily do that. You have now got a grenade.
Would I have
Essentially,
any
it'll
idea
work.
how long the fuse is?
And well, that's up to you. You see there are fuses there as well, so you can cut it however long you want. You would understand what kind of cord this is. You would understand how long it would work. So it's basically up to you. You can set the fuse on this.
I'll make a wild guess and set it for 3 minutes. Or pick one minute.
Okay, that is a long fuse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Yeah, you can do that. So you wrap this thing up, and you have now got a 3-minute. You can always obviously cut it shorter if you want to, but 3-minute timer on a grenade,
Cool.
and it'll work like
And
this.
for my magnum opus yet, I'm going to light it and sit it on. Sit it in with the rest of the smoke powder, making sure the fuse doesn't fall onto the rest of the smoke powder.
Okay, yeah, nice. All right. Let's say, give me another sleight of hand check to see if you can place this without it getting wet from the rain.
Oh.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You just use the cover that was there to cover the smoke powder, and you managed to keep it hidden. But yeah, you have now created quite a little explosive right there, and that will
And
go off
just
in 3
final
minutes.
thing. Can I just have a look at my what's it called? My keeper's eye, and see if it's open or not.
Yeah, you look down at it. Are you? Well, I think your friends might be in the room, but I don't think you've attuned it to them yet. But no, it is. We'll say at this point you can give me a stealth check, and we'll see.
I honestly thought I was outside.
Well, you kind of on the edge of one of these
Right.
tents, where, and yeah, so you look down at it and it is closed. No one. It seems everyone else is far more focused on rushing to the front. There, you have managed to do this without detection.
And that'll be that. Oh god, it said in 3 minutes for real time.
Yeah, I was actually testing to see if it would do it in real time or use the game timer, but that'll just be a nice little reminder there. So,
And then I'll make my way out and try and see, hey, what's the commotion about, guys?
okay, anyone else doing anything in particular while you're here at the camp, or are you all following along with the Dragon Clan?
Jerry was never here. Greater invisibility on Jerry.
Okay, cool. Jerry disappears.
I can't leave the tent.
Let me guess, you're stuck in the wall?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Sakura, are you trying to sneak behind them as a fox?
Yeah.
Or you can...
Teeny fox. She's trying to use the trees as cover, but I can't actually see. Not on the maps, so I can't see how close the forest is to the battlefield.
That's right. No one's seen the map now. As you follow along with the Dragon Clan as they assemble and march forward. We rejoin you guys here. As you come marching down the road, you see that the Crab Clan is riding up to face them. And I will put your tokens down, and you can move them around. Okay, Jerry, are you taking Spike with you? You are now invisible, but Spike is not.
I'm not.
Okay. Alright, so Spike has been dismissed. Okay, and you're approaching, so can you all see the map?
Yep.
At least on a stream or something. Yeah, so position yourselves how you like. Sakura, there are many trees here now. You can give me... Did you already give me a stealth check to hide in the tree?
I think so. I don't know. Wait, let me.
No, I'm not saying one. You can give me a stealth check. Okay, 21.
Okay.
Yeah, you managed to disappear in little fox form into the tree line, and you don't imagine anyone's paying you much attention. We'll put you down there. What's everyone else doing?
I will. Can we see the archers on that little bit of elevated hillside?
Yeah, you can see that there's a line of archers that have clearly just made their way up there.
nothing much I can contribute anymore. So I'm gonna go over here and sort of pretend to be ready.
Okay, so you falling in as if you're gonna join the fight.
Yeah, but near the back.
Yeah, cool. You see the cavalry archers just lining up next to you, and Estrella, what do you do?
I'm just like, yeah, just standing like behind the tree, being like, wouldn't be good if the enemy sees me. Then they're gonna focus me, and then I can't heal you guys. Just mean like trying to trick them into thinking that I'm like just doing it for their benefit.
All right. So you can see the crowd now just lining up, and they all seem to have stopped in the middle of the road. They're just the two armies now sort of staring each other down. So you guys said you seem to have some plans. Are you going to try and suggest any of that to them? And also, Jerry, where are you going in all of this while you are invisible? Jerry, are you sneaking around to their front lines, or are you sneaking into the forest, or are you just staying in the ranks of the Dragon Clan?
Sorry. Yeah, I'll probably stand next to the tree, the big one, like a bit to the left of the center.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you managed to get up there without any issue. You can hear the archers that are nearby just they're all waiting for things to kick off.
I'll try to say to the fucking Dragon Clan, I'll see if I can do anything about those archers. Don't expect to see me.
You'll see one of the other archers just nod to you, but you can see that Daichi he's just standing there, and he seems to be looking quite confident. Just a big smile on his face. But Miyamoto steps forward, and he says, "Away with you, Crab Clan!" And he's just holding his hand in the air as if to stop them. You cannot pass here. And the rest of them, they just seem to be watching, but no one actually says anything. Are any of you making any of the suggestions for the plans that you were making earlier?
Oh, that's a great suggestion. It's like just stepping like quickly out, just carefully, just stepping behind Daichi, and is like leaning in and is like, Daichi, why don't you just show these Crab Clan that you are such a great person that you do not even need your army to help you. You can defeat their strongest warrior alone. I mean, with tales like yours, it would be an easy task. And think about how your father would see you. He would be like, oh, Oh, great, Daichi. You gotta be my successor. He may even abdicate because you are that great. Wouldn't that be a great suggestion? And I'm just trying to persuade him and to see.
Yeah, you can make that with advantage, a persuasion check. As you see, he's like, he's got a big smile on his face and he's just nodding to in agreement with everything you're saying. Yes, you're right. I could easily take this entire army myself. And he'll just like place a hand on Mirumoto's shoulder and step forward, and he'll say, "Which of you, Crab Clan, are brave enough to face me one-on-one? I do not wish to send all of you home missing your heads. I need to only show one of you." And you see him as he's walking forward. You start to see this lightning crackle up his arms, and you can see he's like shifting his shoulders and cracking his neck as his wings are just sort of folded back behind him, and he starts taking a step forward. And at this point, on the other side, you see a large-looking samurai. He just shouts out. Let me see if I can actually bring him up. You see this guy just go very well. Who was ready to challenge the son of Daichi? And he just offers to his clan for anyone to step forward if they want. And you see a couple of them they look like they're itching to go. But are you guys doing anything?
Just in case, I'm going to fill another one of those steel balls with the black powder I bought.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely do that while you're sort of standing at the back there. And at this point, a samurai will be walking forward from the Crab Clan, unless anyone else is volunteering. I mean, I don't know. You guys had a plan, but Jerry, are you still staying hidden there in the tree?
If I'm only invisible, not disguised, then yeah.
I mean, all things considered, the implication is that only one Crab Clan member needs to die, the other goes home.
You see this guy just pull out his tetsubo and walk out into the middle of the road, and he seems very confident as he steps forward, and he seems ready to face him. And unless there are any objections, Mirumoto will raise a hand in the air and say, "All right, everyone hold. Let Lord Daichi show us what he is made of." And you'll see Daichi take a few more steps forward and say, "Ah, little crab, you have made a grave mistake today." And at that moment, lightning will strike down as you just see this flash of lightning, not anywhere right close, but just the sky is filled with light as he begins to transform as he walks forward, and the wolf becomes
Oh my.
and with that, one of the men in the army will start reciting that same poem, just shouting it over the rain, as the rest of them just cheer and mostly drown him out as he transforms into this massive creature and takes a few steps forward. You see the lightning crackling all the way up his arms and down the ridge of his back as he just looms over the other samurai who stands there defiantly, but you can see the tetsubo in his hand trembling slightly as this massive creature just stares down at him and waits for him to make the first move. And this, any of you guys can make a history or a religion check as you see this happening, to see if you can recognize, or nature actually, if you want to see if you can recognize what kind of creature this is.
I just decided to reload my map, but let me roll in D&D Beyond. 18 on nature.
Oh, I mean, know what they say. Facing danger and not being scared is stupid. Facing danger and being scared, but still facing is brave, or however the fuck it goes. So good on him.
So Elias, you will know from that history check that the Crab Clan are, well, and Sakura, you guys will both know very well that the Crab Clan are famous for defending the Kaiju Wall, which separates the Kiga and Nyx, or Kiga and what they call the Shadowlands, and they are famous for fighting Oni. That is like part of all of their samurai training is to kill an Oni, and so they're used to fighting big scary monsters. But this thing, Estrella, you recognize this from the poem as being the Zenogre. Yeah, it is straight up straight up stolen this from Monster Hunter. So if any of you know what a Zenogre is, that's what is standing before you. However, the difference is that you know the legend is that it is some kind of lycanthropy that can be carried amongst blue dragons and blue dragonborn. So, but it is very, very rare, and this is probably the first time you've actually seen one up close. But this is a powerful beast. This is who you're looking at. Okay, so it looks like these two are about to duel. But at this point, we will. I think, yeah, unless unless anyone's jumping in, I feel like this is about to be NPCs fighting each other.
Is it?
Because otherwise we can either jump back to June, or oh shit, it's 8 o'clock already. Okay, well then I think actually this might be where we end this scene, and we will jump back to June and pick things up again next time. I didn't realize how late we'd gone already.
Oh yeah, we started at 5.
Yeah, I'm so used to the like. So we'll jump back there for the moment. As June, you have been presented with a Mistwalker's token, a little emerald that seems to have a stripe carved down the middle that looks kind of like an eye, or a tadpole to become Eulitharid. What are you doing?
So, I have the choice between leaving and wandering the material plane at my leisure, or gain power beyond my wildest imagination. Is that correct?
Indeed. If you leave, we will still have tasks to ask of you, but it will be up to you whether or not you accept them. You will essentially be free, or you can join the true path and join the hive mind. And you will hear them all speaking at the same time again.
I've lost many things in my life to get here. My parents died before I really knew them. My brother died during a botched attempt to escape here. Many things I've lost. All to just get to this point. Why the hell would I join you in this and relieve even more control to you? I choose to wonder if that's the case. I choose freedom, and I take the Mistwalker emblem.
Very well. Then we wish you all the best of luck when the end comes. And they bow graciously as you see this mind flare sort of float back up there, but the elder brain still seems to have its attention on you, and you gain the Mistwalker. Not only this is just like an emerald necklace, but it works like a mist talisman, but you gain the feat of the Mistwalker Dark Gift, which you can add on D&D Beyond. And now you are able to basically move between the material realm and the Shadowfell almost at will. You can, if you would like to, at any point, just perceive what is happening in the Shadowfell in a place that you're in. You can kind of peer through the veil as well. So I'll give you an item with actual mechanics for that, but for now you can just add the feat of the Mistwalker, and everything that comes with it is basically what you've just got.
All right. I'll make a hasty. I'll hastily walk away, making sure to just completely close my mind to them.
Okay. Yeah, and as you make your way out of that chamber, you head back into that sort of fish-shaped chamber. Are you going to try and make your way back through that entire dungeon, or are you trying to find another way?
I'm just gonna dimension door right to the entrance. I'm not the just in case they want to double cross me. I'm just gonna dimension door the whole way.
Okay, so where are you trying to dimension? Are you going back to the start of the actual?
Yeah, directly to the entrance.
Okay. So as you exit this place and you manage to just pop your way through there with dimension doors, you will exit the temple and swim out into open waters, but you will see something maybe a little bit disturbing. So yeah, you see this as you exit the chamber. You see these massive statues of what looks similar to the mind flayers that you've seen, and a massive pedestal that it seems like it is some kind of a tomb. But standing in the middle of this pedestal is a what looks like almost like a mannequin head that seems to be planted by stone into the middle of this thing. But it looks like something you would display a hat on or something.
All right.
It's got tentacles on the face, of course.
Yeah, my curiosity is piqued by that. I'll swim by it and get a first look.
Yeah, I mean there's not much more to see, but it seems like that is part of whatever mechanism this entire structure is built around. It seems that is the activating mechanism.
Right. So you said it's like a mannequin head.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's over here, right?
Yeah, right in the middle there of that little Hydra logo.
Yeah, I'll go right to it. Have a look.
Okay. Yeah, you still. I mean, it looks like it looks like this is part of some kind of a mechanism, but there are no eyes in the. It seems like most of the face is featureless except for a vague, like, description of these tentacles on the face, but it literally looks like something you would put a hat on.
Okay. I'm gonna take out the mask that I still have, and I'll place it on the mannequin head and see what happens.
Okay, are you sure?
Don't do that. Oh, fuck it. Yeah, I'm doing it. I want to see what happens.
As you put the mask onto that mannequin head, you see the golden tendrils wrap around it as if it's grasping out, and you feel the ground underneath you shake as the light appears from the other side of the tomb. And at this point, you can feel something moving, and you can see that those lights are glowing. Are you doing anything?
I am gonna try start swimming up so I can get a better view of this, but also just to get away from whatever is happening.
Okay, yeah. As you start swimming, you see the entire top of this tomb slide open like a sarcophagus, and you just see the dust and everything that it's picking up from the seafloor as you start swimming up and away. You swear you can see something in there, but you're not entirely sure. You want to stick around to find out what it is.
Oh no, I'm going. I'm leaving.
Okay, you continue swimming.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, at this point, we zoom out to the surface of Uchibito Bay as somewhere deep beneath there we're gonna is June.
I see June at the shoe.
Okay, there we go. There's June. You are underwater. I'm going to need you to give me now, as you are swimming as fast as you can, to give me a strength saving throw, please, to see how far you can get.
A strength saving throw? I'm not good at strength, but I will roll it anyway.
Yeah, we're going to go through the whole gamut for this one. So this is just to that initial kickoff.
I still do have normal 30 feet of movement though.
Yeah, you do, but it's now you're trying to get to the surface, and as you're going, you're just wishing that you could swim faster than this, but you do manage to keep making your way upwards. And now I'd like you to give me a dex saving throw as you keep going, and you really try and change tactic.
Oh, sure. Come on. Are you kidding me? Why, dice? Why? I need to pick the lucky beat.
So you can, it almost feels like the current is pushing against you and pushing you down, like pulling you towards whatever this creature is. And as you're swimming to as fast as you can tell that there's something coming up behind you. But at this point, you can give me a Constitution saving throw to try and fight through the current.
Oh, come on, dice! Don't do this to me. Okay.
Okay. And now you're starting to get somewhere. Now you understand that the current is pushing you this way, and you start to streamline yourself to get through it, and you are going as fast as you can. At this point, you can feel that there's a good chance whatever is behind you is going to catch up real soon. So I'd like you to give me an intelligence saving throw to just see if you can keep moving in the right direction. We're going literally through the whole thing.
So I roll. Oh, decent.
Oh, okay. These last ones are saving you as you now you feel like you're getting it. You're starting to see the light from above, and you hear this voice coming from behind you that just it just seems to echo as it chases. Oh shit! Look, Phaser beyond. I've forgotten already.
Yep, that's definitely could be it.
Yep. So you hear it, and now as you hear its voice in your head, I'd like you to give me a wisdom saving throw, as you know that this thing is behind you. Oh,
Second natural one. What the hell?
okay. You are most definitely frightened, and absolutely terrified as now the pain that is just ringing through your head just from being in proximity to this, and you're not sure if your changes will even help you. You feel like your lungs might explode any moment, but you keep going. And as you swim right up to the top, I'm going to ask you to give me a charisma saving throws. You just turn and stare this beast in the face as it is growing ever closer.
Okay,
And
14, but I
I'll
don't think
say,
that's
because you've just taken the Mistwalker thing, you've got advantage on this charisma save as you're
alright.
looking
Aha! 25.
at. Okay, nice. Okay, so the DC was 23 on the last one, so
Oh.
you just got it there. As you approach the surface, you turn around for that last moment and you stare down the face of this old one, this eldritch being, which, I mean, yeah, basically Cthulhu. You probably don't know that name, but it is
Oh, it is
one of the
actually just.
ancient.
Oh no.
Whoopsie
And with
daisy.
that, you break through the surface of the water, and you are followed by massive tentacles and this face. But you're above the surface. What are you doing?
I am getting onto that of my freaking broom and getting the hell out of there.
All right, yeah, and with that, June zooms off on her broom just as a hand like grasps up from underneath the water, and then as you look behind you, it sinks back beneath the waves. You see the shadow disappear, and that is where we will end tonight's session as June flies her way back to the rest of the party, I assume.
Damn it. Curiosity accidentally summoned Cthulhu. God damn it.
All part of the plan.
I mean, it kind of tracks. Curiosity summoned
I mean,
Cthulhu.
you were given a second chance via the trademark. Are you sure?
Yes, I know. And I love saying yes to those because the most interesting things happen, like summoning Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's the trick, is to always answer that with yes, but just know that your character may end up dying.
I agree with you. It's just still.
Yes.
So yeah, now you know what June's been up to behind the scenes.
Yeah, we know. Fucking our characters don't.
Yeah, this is a test of your metagaming, your ability not to metagame, because June has very, very successfully hidden most of her patron stuff for most of this campaign, and I still don't think it's all been revealed. But like, I don't think we've given everything away today. But June has finally checked something off that quest list, I think.
Yeah.
I must actually do that because I don't think you. So
Well,
yeah, well done.
I have some ideas.
Not gonna lie, for a second there, I thought you might have chosen the Mind Flayer. I was like, wow, really? That's.
I mean,
didn't think we were gonna go that way. I was like,
I really
I guess
could have. Like, player me would have done it, but June wants freedom. So.
Well, yeah, I was like, look, either. I mean, we might be bringing Kenji back, or like, I mean, not Kenji.
Yuki.
Daichi.
Yuki.
Yuki. Fuck. It's like Daichi. My brain is dead.
He is Daichi. I mean, they would call him Daichi. Yeah, you have found the node, and yeah, so now basically, meta-wise again, you'll be able to look at different sides of maps. Like there may be things hidden in the Shadowfell that are not in the material plane, and vice versa. And now you've basically got a way to traverse that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else was just thinking June was reading some books.
I'm surprised you guys never really looked closely at the book. You would she wasn't really hiding the book or anything. You would have seen.
Hey,
Oh, that's definitely a lot of Cthulhu shit.
your business is your business. It ain't mine.
Look, when Kaya tried to look at your book, you fucking zapped her.
Yeah, but Sakura didn't. Nobody else tried it.
Sakura didn't because you like. Poor
She had the
Kaya.
memory. It was muscle memory from Kaya. Just
Yeah, it was muscle memory. Completely. Like, every time she was like, oh, what's June doing? There's just something in her that was like, no.
she's got a twitch like in her eye. Like what is that from?
It's like a random sharp pain and then it just disappears. It's like, getting electrocuted. Wonder what that is. Let's just leave June.
So yeah, next week we will rejoin you all as this duel between the Zenogre and the Crab Clan Samurai kicks off, and see what happens there.
In all honesty, I know that Taimo